What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be teaching what SSMT is, and before getting started you should be familiar with Dave's free YouTube video where he breaks down what the quarters are and how to use them. Now, SSMT or sequential SMT is basically just a time-based SMT where one of the assets, NQ, ES, or YM, takes a low or high from the previous quarter and the others doesn't. It has to be with the previous quarter, so Q2 would be Q1, Q3 would be Q2, Q4 would be Q3, and Q1 will be Q4 since it resets. It can't be Q1 with Q3, Q4 with Q2. It has to be back to back. I like using sequential SMT because it filters out all the unnecessary SMTs that appear. And that's not to say that regular SMT doesn't work, but I find that sequential gives me a lot higher probability SMTs. Here's a quick little cheat sheet I made. So for a monthly cycle, it's pretty simple. It's just the previous week's high or low. If Monday or let's say Tuesday created the high or low, you just mark that out. And if one asset takes it and the others doesn't, that's monthly cycle SSMT. For weekly cycle SSMT, it's with previous day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if you're trading on Wednesday, it will be with Tuesday's high or low. And if you're on Monday, the previous day will not be Sunday, it will be Friday. And for daily cycle SSMT, it's with the previous session. So if you're trading on New York AM, it will be with London's high or low. And if you trade New York PM, it will be New York AM's high or low. And if it's London, it's Asia session. There's actually 3 more types of SSMT that I personally don't use too often, which are quadrennial, 90-minute, and microcycle. I'm not going to explain too much on these, but if you're interested, you can pause the video and read. Now, when using SSMT, we first have to determine the market structure, and then use SSMT to know when price is reversing. So, on the monthly time frame, obviously we're going up, expecting order blocks, and we've been trading down to this fair value gap. And on the lower time frame, inside this fair value gap, we created monthly cycle SSMT with ES. ES took previous week's low, which in this case Monday was a low, and NQ did it. Now that you determined your high time frame bias is bullish with price respecting fair value gaps, as you can see, you can now zoom down to the lower time frame and form a trade higher. On the lower time frame, we also create daily cycle SSMT with, since we're in AM session, it will be London's low. So YM took London's low right here, and as you can see, NQ and ES didn't. And you can find any type of entry trigger after this, like let's say a CISD, and you can target these clear draw in liquidity or previous day's high. Right here. As you can see, price perfectly plays out. For this next trade example, we've been trading lower because we have quadrennial cycle. This was December's high, ES took it, and now we are in February. On the lower time frame, we have weekly cycle, which on Wednesday, YM took Tuesday's high and NQ didn't. This weekly cycle SSMT got created right at around market close, which that doesn't invalidate this. You can just play the continuation for the next day. So for this trade, we traded back into the 4-hour fair value gap right here, and you can just enter off any entry trigger you like, just to keep it simple. Let's say the CISD stops at the highs. And for draws, you can just target these obvious lows, or even this one right here. And as you can see, price dumps. Now you could also use SSMT to play rebalances. So in the same trade, we created weekly cycle SSMT to the upside, and as you see, we can play the rebalance. And we also, which I just showed, a bearish one. The bearish SSMT is going to play out instead of the bullish one because it aligns with the higher time frame. An important thing to remember is SSMTs has to align with the higher time frame, so I expect this SSMT to get respected. I don't expect price to come up here. And SSMTs that fade it can sometimes act as a rebalance So after it rebalances, it would then get disrespected. But don't always rely on this. Make sure there is actually a price to rebalance. In this case, price just drops straight down, so we can expect this to get rebalanced and then continue to the strong liquidity. If you like the way I trade, you can join my Discord where I break down every single trade of this year and the best trades you can take. And if you have any questions, you can ask it here too. And I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you for watching.